Hi everybody, it's Sarah. In today's video, we're going to look at the November 2021 energy forecast for Sagittarius natives. This covers Sun, Moon, and Rising sign in Sag. We will be looking at 6 sectors of your energy, including what you're bringing forward from October into November, your biggest obstacle, your biggest asset for the month, your home life, your love life, both partnered and single Sagittarius natives, and then we'll look at the outcome, or where you'll be at the end of the month if you stay on the current path that you're on right now. This is my take on the energy, and because of that, it may not resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, no worries, just pass it on by, and I do hope you find what you're looking for. I will be using the Moonology cards this month, and I have a link to them below. People have asked me, where can you get them? You can buy them on Amazon, but I put a link to these really nice cards. They're very straightforward, and I think they're no nonsense, and I think Sagittarius is going to like it. Let me shuffle really quickly, and we will draw the first card. What are you bringing forward from October into November? It's time to take action, new moon in Aries. Okay, this is not a big surprise. You've been more or less sitting on your hands for, 3 years now? You've been getting messages that you need to rest, you need to take it easy, you need to slow down, you need to focus on what you want to manifest. Put all your energy on self-care and things will just flow much easier. And it's all good advice, but it's taking forever, or so it seems. I think when you look back over the last maybe even 5 years, you'll see that you're building something. Something is coming to fruition. The cycle is ending and we're about to start this new cycle. And you had to go through this for it to work, for the lessons to come forward. And luckily, the cycle is just about done. You're bringing that energy of wanting to move forward, of wanting to step out there and just get it done into November from October. And I think this really happens towards the end of the month, the end of October, where you can really see the direction that you're supposed to go into. And I think this is good energy for you. It's very straightforward. It's Aries fire energy, which works really well with Sagittarius and their fire energy. So this is a good place to be. I think you're going to find direction in the end of October or beginning of November. So let me draw the next card. This will be the obstacle for the month. Work through your fears. Yeah, that's Scorpio, right to the point. What are you most afraid of right now, Sagittarius? Is it moving? Is it starting over? Is it ending a relationship? Or is it committing to someone or committing to something? All of these major milestones should cause you a little bit of anxiety because these are big game changers, but they shouldn't paralyze you. This has, as I said before, been a cycle of tough lessons for you. And because of that, you're kind of second guessing yourself and you're not just jumping out there with that self-confidence and surety that you're known for. So I think that's going to be one of the biggest obstacles this month, is working through these fears and understanding that nothing is guaranteed. No one can tell you 100% should you quit your job, should you move across the country, should you, end a 30-year relationship or begin a new relationship. Only you know for sure, and you do have options. So I would suggest that you work that way through it. You look at the bigger picture, look at all you've been through and all that you have been able to survive, because that's the truth, Sagittarius, and know that this too shall pass and that you're going to get past this. So yeah, I would say this is a month where you're going to have to really face some of those fears and maybe sit with them to get past them. So let's look at your biggest asset for the month. Oh, nice. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Okay, I think this is a really good placement for this card. And that's kind of what's been holding you up, hasn't it? You haven't really had any clear-cut advice or signs from the universe or synchronicities or gut feelings about what you should do. Because of that, and because, like I say, the last couple of years have really worked on your self-confidence, you haven't made a decision. And really, you can't move forward till you make a decision. And not making a decision actually is making a decision, because it means you're just going to stay right where you are. And that's the one thing you don't want. You're feeling stuck, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling almost to the point where you have to break out of this cycle and do something new. So I think that the answers are coming in November, and you'll get a clear idea of which direction you should follow and which is the best path for you. So that's exciting news. Okay, so let's look at your home life. New moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. Okay, this goes right along with the rest of it, doesn't it? Only you know what's best for you and your family. So instead of keeping busy with everything else, or maybe overcommitting so you don't have time to work through your own issues, maybe it's time to sit with your fears and worries and come to terms with them. If you move, what's the worst thing that could happen? Same with changing jobs. Once you realize the absolute worst, then you can work backward from that point to ensure that nothing catastrophic happens. It may mean ending your relationship with your current employer in a way where you can come back if you need to, or it may mean not selling your house immediately. It may mean moving and trying this new job or this new location and renting your house out so that you do have a safety net. There's a lot of things you can still do. There's a lot of things that are still in your control. I think the most important thing is to understand what really is motivating you and why you're wanting to make these changes, and have an honest dialogue with your family and discuss what they want and what their fears are and what they see happening, and see if you can't come to an agreement, because that will also shed a lot of light on the subject. If they're adamant that they don't want to leave the area, they don't want to have this big grand adventure, then you're going to have to make a decision. Is this something you can live with? Or is this going to be the deal breaker? Yeah, I think a lot of things are probably going to, I don't want to say work themselves out, but I think they're going to become more apparent to you in the month of November as the month goes on, especially after, say, the 15th or so. I think things are going to become a lot clearer. I really feel like 15th, the 18th, somewhere in there, you're going to have some realizations, maybe just kind of epiphanies popping out of the blue of what is really motivating maybe your spouse or your children's behavior, and what you need to really work on to ensure that they feel safe and that they feel that they matter. Even though everything you do for them, they don't always know that. So sometimes we need to tell them. So I think this is going to be a really powerful time for you. Let's look at your love life, and I'm going to draw a card both for partnered and single Sagittarius. So let's start with partnered. Surrender to the divine, the full moon. Okay. This is not a surprise either. You're working through scenarios. You're trying to second guess what's going on with your partner, trying to make the best decision. Would you guys be happier if you moved? Would you be happier if you changed jobs? Would you be happier if you downsized? All of these things just keep going around and around and around in your head. And unfortunately, you're not gaining any ground. It's almost like you're on a stationary bicycle. You're not going anywhere. All you're doing is turning the wheels. I think it's time to surrender. It's time to surrender this to the divine. And I think in November, you will have the insight you need to move forward. So let me draw another card for single Sag. Ooh, be bold and make the first move. Well, I think that's pretty straightforward. I don't think that needs a lot of explanation. There's somebody that you've got your eye on, and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and they're not making the first move. Guess what? It's time for you to do it. And I think that you'll be surprised at how well the relationship takes off. One word of warning, though, I would say is don't rush into anything just yet. 2022 is going to be a magical year for you, and there's lots of people coming in and exiting your life in 2022. I am working on the big forecast for each sign, and hopefully I'll have those done by the first of the year, so patience. So bear with me. But yeah, I think that you shouldn't rush into anything. Go ahead, go slow, enjoy the dating process, and don't settle for someone who's not going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. So, okay, that sounded really good. Let's look at the outcome. So if you stay on the current path that you're on now, this is where you're likely to be at the end of November. Interesting. Full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. So this is an interesting card because Sagittarius doesn't normally hide who they are, but this hasn't been normal times either. You also don't normally second guess yourself, but you have been. Have you been hiding who you are? Have you been trying to fit in or get along with other people, and in the process of that, kind of shutting down? And that's no way to be. That's no way to live. And it's almost impossible for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, to live that way for any length of time. It's like trying to cap a volcano. Eventually, it will explode. So I think that, yeah, it may be time to look at what you're sacrificing, and is it worth it? Is staying in a job where perhaps you feel undervalued and you feel like you can't be yourself, is it worth the money? Same for staying in a relationship. Are you staying in a relationship with someone where you feel like you can't be yourself? Then what are you doing? And how is it making you feel? So I think those things will probably come forward by the end of the month. And I think that also a lot of Sagittarius natives have already made major changes in their life, but they're feeling relieved, but they're also second guessing themselves. So I think all of that will become clearer by the end of November, mid-December. We're going to see light shining on that in a different kind of way. Overall, this is a better month. A lot of epiphanies, a lot of synchronicity showing up. You're getting closer to the end of the cycle and you're starting to get some clarity on which road to take next or which path to take next. It's not done by any means, but we're getting closer. I think you're going to be more optimistic in November as well, because you're going to see all you have to do is really make up your mind, and then the universe will start bringing miraculous things to you. I think overall a much better month. We're still not through the worst of it, but a better month. Stay positive, stay optimistic. If you can at all, spend some time on self-care. I know you're tired of hearing that. And also looking inward on what you want, what would make you happy, what do you need to feel nurtured and supported. So I hope you enjoyed this little mini reading. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. And if you would like your own personal reading, you can find me at Serenity. I'll put my information up here and in the description box below. As always, let's thank the patrons for making this possible. If you enjoy this type of content, why not consider joining the cool kids and becoming a patron too? I'll put a link up here and of course below as well. Thank you guys so much, and I'll speak to you soon. Reiki blessings. Bye-bye.